Hey guys, in this video, I want to talk about why you should not start applying ceramic coatings right now in your auto detailing business. Now, it's kind of ironic because I'm actually applying a ceramic coating in this particular video to this Audi. This is Naciol's ceramic coating. It's their ZR53 coating. I'll talk about it in just a second. It is my favorite all-in-one kind of all-around coating. But really want to talk about the title of this video. As I am creating this online course and I'm getting really close to finishing it, I'm really having to distill down step by step exactly how to wrap a business around auto detailing. And it's just provoking a lot of different things to come to kind of the forefront of my mind. And some of these things I really wanted to share with you guys. Just from my own story, I thought I'd tell you that I didn't actually start applying ceramic coatings until I was about 19 years old, okay? And this was, 5 years into my business at that point, maybe even a little over 5 years, and particularly 3 years into me really taking detailing very seriously. One of the biggest mistakes that ends up happening in the detailing world, that for professional detailers in particular, that really doesn't get talked about a lot, is this kind of shiny object syndrome, but it's contextualized to detailing alone. What I mean by that is because detailing, and this actually happens, by the way, in every single business. You know, people start one business and then they're like, oh, my friend's making money doing this, so I'm going to start doing this, and then they just jump from one thing to the next. It's very easy to do, not just from industry to industry, but it's also really easy to do in one single industry from thing to thing. What I mean by that is it is very easy to start a detailing business and get discouraged quickly because you feel like you don't have customers coming in, and you're like, man, the customers I do have coming in, I'm having to spend a ton of time and effort and break my back to detail their car, and I'm not making that much money, and I'm having a hard time getting customers coming in the first place. So maybe if I can just do ceramic coatings instead of having to break my back, even with the few customers I am getting, I'm going to make a ton more money. The first and kind of biggest reason why I think this is a mistake is simply because ceramic coatings take time and really don't serve as the foundation of your especially mobile auto detailing business. And it's kind of like trying to build a house without first building a foundation. It's like, yeah, you can do it, but there needs to be some sort of other flow in the business that ends up providing a more stable, kind of secure foundation. That I think that stage is it's not very smart to skip over that stage. And when you jump into trying to apply ceramic coatings, it ends up, at least my experience, hurting people long term because they haven't laid this foundation of a, say, recurring revenue, regular maintenance client, auto detailing business. The second thing that ends up I'm able to kind of segue into from this is when you do build the foundation, and particularly a foundation of regular maintenance clients in your business, ceramic coatings actually become very easy. One of the drawbacks to ceramic coatings is that it is difficult to conversate or talk to customers over the phone with people who you've never seen before, never been your customer. It's difficult to talk to them, much more difficult to talk to them about ceramic coatings than it is to talk with people who you do know, who you have been detailing for, not just because ceramic coatings is a completely different ballpark, and so trying to not only teach about the nature of detailing, but also teach about the nature of ceramics to a totally new customer can be very overwhelming. But on top of that, with a maintenance client that you've been detailing for, you are extremely familiar with the nature of their vehicle if you've been keeping it up anyways. Not to mention, in addition to that, you already have this tried and true built relationship with your customer. And so adding in this ceramic ends up being something that's actually very easy to do. This is the strategy that I used in my own business when I wanted to introduce ceramic coatings. It was very easy to approach my maintenance clients, not just because I had been detailing their cars for a long time, but also because of the type of person they were. You know, a lot of times, again, I've said this before, a lot of times my maintenance clients are in the medical field or entrepreneurs who are kind of like independently wealthy people, and they don't have a problem spending money on their car, and they look at their vehicle as an investment. And so on top of all this, this provided just a really great recipe for success in bringing in in ceramics to my business. And I would suggest building it almost in a step-by-step or a block-by-block sort of way like this, just because a lot of times, like we say, even in detailing, preparation is everything. Prep, so that when you come to these final stages of waxing or sealing or even applying the ceramic, your life is so much easier. Whereas if you skip that stage, things just fall apart. If you prepare properly in the beginning stages, even when you're not motivated and even when it's difficult and there's a bit of failure maybe that you feel like, hey, things aren't working quite as well as I thought they would, if you can push through that and build that solid foundation, everything else begins to get easier. It's like pushing over one big domino that ends up making the whole train fall. Now, moving on from that, one of the patterns that I've noticed, just because these days I get the opportunity to talk to a lot of guys who are in the business, not that there's not any girls in the business, I just don't talk to a lot of girls in the business, don't meet a lot of them, though I know that they're there. However, I talk to a lot of guys in the business, and one of the big conversations is always around ceramic coatings, and it does seem that this is kind of a consequence of the way the industry has gone recently, because now everything is a ceramic, everything is ceramic infused, everything is all about ceramics. And I think in some ways, while yes, it's exciting new stuff, in some ways that innovation can really serve to hurt people who are trying to start their detailing business, because you're trying to move to something that you are not in any way ready to move to. And because of that, the conversation that I'm having with guys is they end up talking themselves out of building a good foundation for their detailing business because of these future problems that might come that they haven't even experienced yet. And so one of those things is, like I said, people feel like, well, I'm not going to make enough money doing this part of the detailing business. The money is in ceramics. And it's like, yeah, there's some truth to that, but in a less extreme way, there's money in every part of the detailing business when it's structured correctly. Like, there's money and no money in different areas depending on how they're structured. And so to take only one viewpoint and say, well, this is the way to make money, in a lot of ways, I think long term is just not helpful. I don't think it really helps you contextualize things to your situation. And in a way, it kind of creates this sort of like inaction where people are afraid to take action on something because of, again, future problems that haven't yet come. And it's like, maybe a better perspective would be, hey, if I take this action and then I experience these problems in the future, then these problems are actually just a reflection of me doing something. You know, it's like saying I don't want to make too much money because I'm going to have to pay more tax. It's like, no, you want to make more money. Like, that's a problem that's actually indicative that you're doing a great job at something. And so if you have problems in your detailing business, even down to the problem of I'm not experiencing enough customers, it's like that even is a problem that's indicative that you have a business you are trying to build. It's like most people don't even have that problem because they're not trying to build a business. So in some ways, it's actually a very good thing that that problem even exists, because it's a symptom of something that you are doing that's good. In the same way, ceramic coatings are an incredible way to get into the higher end market, especially when you're detailing for maintenance clients. But in many ways, I do think structuring an auto detailing business that is based around recurring revenue from maintenance clients serves as a foundation that ends up catapulting these add-ons like ceramics to a much higher level than they would ever get to on their own if you didn't have that foundation. So while yes, you could make a lot of money doing it, in many ways, I think having that foundation will create a much higher sort of curve long term than it would without it. Now, having said that, for y'all who are wanting to know, this ceramic coating is from Nasyol. It's their ZR53, and it is what I would call my favorite all-in-one coating. This is the one that I reach for more than anything else. I've been using it for about 3 years now, and the reason being is just because it's so straightforward and so simple to apply, and I am at a 3-year mark with an Audi that I applied this to, and it's still going strong. I do maintain the Audi about 4 times a year, but outside of that, that coating is maintaining very, very well, and the ZR53 does have about a 3-year time frame. So the fact that it has been 3 years and it's still working so fantastically is just indicative to me that this is amazing coating, and I just have the most experience with this coating. It also comes as a sort of all-in-one package, meaning it not only comes with the coating itself, it comes with plenty of applicators. It also comes with pair of gloves and 2 different microfiber towels, one that's made to remove the coating and one a plush microfiber towel that you use to follow up to get any of that last minute residue off, but also to kind of bring out that shine. The other thing that's probably good to know about this coating is it does have about a 60-second time frame that it can sit on the paint before it gets a little finicky to remove. But if you've ever applied ceramic coatings, you know that when I say a little finicky, I do mean a little finicky. Like relative to other coatings I've used, this one is extremely, extremely easy to pull off. One of the things that I've mentioned in videos before that people seem to not understand, and probably because I'm not saying it very well, is that one great thing about this coating that I can use to basically see when it's really curing to the paint, and you can kind of see it in certain scenes, in certain areas where I'm pointing the camera. As I'm removing the coating from the paint and putting a little bit of pressure on the paint, there's kind of this bowing or warping sort of, what would I call, phenomenon or like visual aspect. Not that you're pushing the panel of the car in, but just as you apply a little bit of pressure in a circular motion to pull that coating off, there's almost this warping, almost like a wavelength in air that is kind of, in a sort of wave visual, what would I say, a wave visual aspect, I don't know how else to describe it, that you can really see on dark colored vehicles, or this Audi, for example, that's really indicative of the coating curing. It's on the paint. I can kind of move on. I don't always get that from every coating I use. You rarely get that from a spray ceramic coating that isn't your traditional ceramic, and for obvious reasons. But with this one, it's just very easy from just a purely visual point of view to see the coating either see either the residue on there that needs to be pulled off, or to see the coating is cured and it doesn't require any more time. Now, what you see me applying to the windshield here is another ceramic from Nasiol. And by the way, this video is not sponsored by Nasiol. I don't want to get any money by saying this. This is just strictly my point of view from this product. It is a product that I really like. This is their wipe on glass shield, and this is basically like a little towel that is already soaked in the ceramic product itself. Comes with 2 different ones apart from the cleaner that comes in the box as well that you can clean the windshield with beforehand. But this windshield was all prepared and ready for this, and what I really like about it is, again, that all-in-one aspect, because this doesn't come in a bottle, doesn't come with applicators, doesn't come with a microfiber towel. It's just purely the towel itself, and actually as you work it into the paint, you don't need to use anything else. You don't need to use an extra microfiber towel. You don't need to use any sort of extra product. You just take the towel itself and work the product into the paint in circular motions until all the streaking is gone and the product has itself cured to the paint. So it just ends up being a really easy thing to do. It's also a very quick add-on that's going to be long-term ceramic protection on the windshield should you be trying to impress your customer with something. Doesn't take a ton of extra time and just works really, really well. I'd also say that while we're on the subject of getting into ceramics, because there are so many ceramic products in the detailing world now, it is easier now than ever for any detailer, no matter how beginner you are, to get your feet wet with ceramics. For example, the windshield product I just talked about, or what I'm using here, this is a ceramic product from the last coat. It's just their spray ceramic, and I'm still testing the long-term durability of this, but this is what I'm applying to the face of the wheel here. This product is super easy to apply, super easy to remove, and it's basically foolproof. There's not a lot of ways that you're ever going to damage something using this product. Even if it were left on the paint too long, this could still be dealt with in a very simple way. And because of that, this is a great way not only to create add-ons for your current customers, but also to get your feet wet with ceramics in feeling at a certain level how they react, how they move, what they do. And that would be, again, it's just like there's never been a time in the detailing industry where it's easier to not screw things up with ceramics and learn about them at a certain level before you dive headfirst in. That is what I would say is the biggest or the greatest opportunity here when it comes to the buckets of information that we get from ceramics. At least there's a lot of opportunity to practice before you go full-fledged with traditional, 9H ceramic coatings. Now, all of that being said, If you guys want to check out the products or the tools that I used in this video, of course, I'm going to put affiliate links down below like I always do in all of my videos to all the ceramic products as well as tools that I use, and of course, any preparation tools that I use to get to this point so that you can actually apply the ceramic properly. So check out all of those links below this video. Guys, if you're new to the Wilson Auto Detailing channel and you haven't yet subscribed, but you like videos like this, then go below the video, hit the red subscribe button, and tap the bell icon so you get notified when I publish future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.